And welcome to our Extra Special on Breakfast Xtra, where today we discuss a very interesting, compelling and often debated topic of the Igbo Apprenticeship Scheme versus traditional Orthodox school enrollments. The age-old Igbo Apprenticeship Scheme system, renowned for its role in fostering entrepreneurial development, has been a significant part of the socio-economic landscape in the Southeast. However, this tradition comes with its share of challenges. Many young male students are often pushed into apprenticeship by their parents or lured to the promise of better opportunities, leading to a significant number of school dropouts or people who don't enroll in schools. This reality has sparked concerns about the educational and developmental implications for the youth involved.
Now, despite its potential downsides, the Igbo Apprenticeship Scheme has produced numerous success stories, with many young men completing their tutelage and emerging as very successful entrepreneurs. Yet, the system is not without its flaws. Some apprentices face exploitation, even frustration at the hands of their masters, which can lead to negative outcomes, including a lack of formal education. The increasing number of male school dropouts in the region highlights the need to reassess and perhaps reform this traditional scheme to ensure it is just and also beneficial for all partners.
Now, to explore the issue further, we're joined by Chief Chimezier Okoye, business owner and entrepreneur, a proponent of the Igbo Apprenticeship Scheme. Chief Okoye, you are welcome. Good to have you here, sir. So first, if we can get an understanding of how the entrepreneurship scheme works from the traditional standpoint.
Thank you. The system works like when you it's difficult to get people now. You understand? Nobody wants to release their people to you. But most of the thing is, most of them that you see now are dropouts. Their parents can't afford anything for them anymore, so they try to give somebody to train them for them. Going about the years of settlement, and those is between between the parents of the boy and the person. It doesn't have a particular years that this is. You have to stay 5 years, you have to stay 7 years, you have to stay 10 years. It doesn't work that way. It's a discussion between you and them, where you achieve. Then once the person comes and he does very well, then they will settle him very well. But if it doesn't do very well, it cannot last.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. The Nwa boy or the Igbo apprenticeship system was started right after the Civil War, after the Biafra War, which was to sort of put the younger generation of the Igbo populace back into the system to help them boost them, to get entrepreneurship because of the biases that they faced in the society at the time. Between that time and now, what has changed in that system? That system was much more, people wanted to do it. Now, what has now specifically changed?
The education system is what changed. Because many people will want to go to school. They love to go to school, you understand, than when it was before that. In short, there's nothing like education, it's just training. But now, many people love to go to school. But the problem is the hardship of the economy. They can't be able to train them anymore. So they have switched to one boy system, like the way you called it, that everybody wants to be one boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a couple of stats while we were reading from before, and what we discovered is that there has been a significant level drop in the number of people who want to go to school, who want to enroll in school. Yeah. It's thought that people are suggesting that they instead go ahead with the Igbo apprenticeship system instead of enrolling in school. Yeah. I don't know if you differ in this opinion.
Yeah, like I can say I'm one of them.
Explain, please.
You understand? I went to school.
Okay.
I went to Uniben. I studied in abroad. I even taught in abroad. But when I came back with what is happening in the country, I did not say, okay, let me pursue my field in structural engineering. I'm doing business. And if you tell me to go back to engineering, I'll just look at you. Are you okay?
Are the greater number of Igbo youths,
Yeah.
Igbo boys, looking toward going to school currently, or are they still fancying the Igbo entrepreneurship system?
I can say it's like 50-50.
50-50?
Yes, 50-50.
Is it a dying trend? Is it dying or...
It's not dying. Like I say, it's 50-50. Those that are willing to go to school might not have the proper fund for it.
Okay.
So those are the ones deviating to one boy system. Why some are just looking at their seniors, this person is doing business, is making fine. What am I going to school for? After all, our forefathers did not go to school, and they all did perfectly well. So some people are looking at it, after all, when I have money, I can be able to go to school.
Okay. So, Chief, there's also this thing where, apart from the very successful stories that we've heard from people who have been through the system and come out the other side as success themselves, there are also other stories of maltreatment by their Igbo masters or their ogas. And how rampant is that situation? And is there any traditional look into the situation?
It's not like that in everywhere. You just say some have their human behavior that is just like that. We all have friends that are just like, you just look at this one, you're just intentionally wicked to somebody. We have plenty boys I've settled in love, and if you want them to do very well, you don't take them like it's my houseboy. You take them like your younger ones, your siblings. If you come to my establishment now, many people don't know who are my boys and who are my siblings, because they all look at them as one. Why some of them are intentionally wicked? We see that a lot. Like the one you're saying, maltreating. And secondly, it's not like maltreating. Maybe the person under that person is stubborn. He's stubborn. That's why you see the maltreatment in that other side of the person. That particular boy is stubborn, doesn't respect his boss. That's when you see that maltreatment is coming in place.
In agreement and settlement, how do you draw an agreement between an apprentice and the mentor or the master, and then how does a settlement? What's the process like? Walk us through.
The agreement is basically sometimes verbally, sometimes written. How many years that is going to stay with you?
Is it between the boy and the
no,
man
between the
or
parents,
the parents
or the caregiver of the boy and the boss.
The guardian.
Yes. In settlement, there is no particular way of settling. It's just from the heart of the boss. The way he feels like, oh, this person did very well. I have to settle him very well. Some will, there might be mischievous, stealing and all those. So those ones are the ones that you see sometimes the boss will not settle that person very well. Say, you have been stealing from me. That I know you have an account that you have opening and all those kind of things, and they will give you little settlement, which you see yourself start struggling as if you just started from day one again.
How big can these settlements go, and how small could they be? If you were to settle somebody who has been good to you, how big could this settlement
you establish the person in a way that he can be able to pay his bills coming to him, and then get married and all those things. You give the person a shop, you give him goods, you give him money to start. Why someone just write a check for you, fend for yourself, and do whatever you want to do?
It makes me wonder about now, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that might have been easy. But now, given the economic downturn, is it easy to be able to settle them and, give them houses or give them an open shop?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the business you are doing. If it's yielding you something. The person that is serving you is supposed to know how you are doing. If you are doing well, it's expected of you to do very well to him. But if you are not doing well, the person serving you is seeing it that he brought you for you to uplift and follow him and uplift the business. When he brought you and the business starts going down, you see, he cannot settle you. You are there with him in the business, see that he cannot settle you. But if both of you are building the business very well, his input is really showing. Then if you don't settle him very well, circumstances can come back to you. Even you start seeing some dancer, because sometimes, how they say, the spirit works back. If you have a good spirit, good things happen. But if you have a bad spirit, bad things happen. So if the boy do very well, if there's upliftment in the business, he will see that there's upliftment. If you don't set him well, he might be praying bad for you that, after all the suffering we suffered in this thing, I know that my Oga has this money. He doesn't want to settle me. You see, that one is bad. But when you're with the person, see the person going down, then expecting, where will he bring the settlement from? He cannot bring the settlement.
I'm very curious about the structure and relationship between the boss and the apprentice.
Yeah.
Especially in cases of maybe reprimanding an apprentice.
Yeah.
And I mean, is there a structure, a traditional structure that says, if your boy errs like this, if he does this and this, this is how he would be punished? Just so that there is no overhandedness or underhandedness.
No, there's nothing like that.
So it's based on the discretion of the boss.
Yes.
And to how he wants to.
Yes.
But does that not foster a situation where maltreatment could come in? Because
no.
a boss could be excessive, perhaps. Because bosses themselves could have bad minds, in quotes.
Yes.
I mean, who checks them? You know, if
Exactly.
the bosses, who checks them? Who checks them? If the bosses being high-handed or too hard on the boy.
That's why it's the boss. Nobody checks him.
That's
why he's the boss. Nobody checked him.
Wow.
Well, the only way is that if you have good friends, those are the ones that can come and meet you and say, this thing you're doing to this boy is not good, though. Try and do it like this. People are complaining, You know, people have eyes and see things also. You understand that you are not doing well.
Okay.
Even if your boy is doing well also, the same people come and say, treat this boy well, he's doing very well for you.
So it's a system that runs on an observatory system where everybody can see how good or how bad you're doing.
Yes, yes.
Chief Chimezier, I can't thank you enough. There is a second layer of understanding that we now have to this system and how profitable it is traditionally to the Igbo society.
Thank you.
Is this something you'd advise for all cultures, do you think? Real quick.
In the business world, I would say, in the business world, there's nothing like advice or any culture at all. Because in my establishment, I don't have only Igbo.
Oh.
I have other people.
That's beautiful.
I have Yoruba.
That's beautiful.
I have Benue. And I have Calabar.
That's beautiful.
You understand?
So it's extending that culture to other cultures.
It depends on, like I said, meeting the rightful person. And I forgot to say something. Like now, when you get somebody, it's not a must that you people start discussing outrightly how many years is going to stay with you. So sometimes you tell the person he's coming for a trial.
Oh.
After some months, maybe 6 a year, if they're okay, they will call back to the parents that, okay, I will take this person.
Okay.
How do we go about it? How many years? We start discussing that on the table.
Chief Chimezier, we can't
I love
thank
the
you enough.
system. It's a poverty alleviation system that has what's the word I'm looking for? Have improved the lives of many Igbo young men and generations ahead as well. Our guest today is Chief Chimezier Okoye, and he's been providing us such insightful perspective on the Igbo apprenticeship system and its role in shaping entrepreneurship success when it comes to the Igbo culture.